This week we're going to be making a beautiful smoky chipotle chicken. This is a perfect meal to prep up in advance. This should give you around 4 portions and we'll throw all the macros in there as we go. Let's get into it. So this dish is going to be really healthy. It's going to be packed full of protein, lots of veggies in there, super tasty, whack of flavour. We're going to do it with some lovely fragrant lime rice. It's going to be the perfect meal for you to make up in advance and just put it in the fridge, microwave through your busy weeks. So let's get into the recipe. And I know everything that's a bit different. I've moved house. We've got a new kitchen. We are in a brand new kitchen, new space, new stuff going on. It's all very exciting. I'll update you all as things go over on my Instagram. But yeah, there's a lot happening at the moment. So here we are. This is the new setup. Let's get to cooking this meal. Okie dokie, let's kick things off by butchering up our chicken. I bought chicken legs, it was the cheapest option for me, and I got a kilogram of chicken legs, or 5 small chicken legs. To do this, I'm just finding the joint between the thigh and the drumstick, and I'm running my knife through that knuckle joint. You can do this just by feeling and bending the leg, and if you don't happen to get the knife in the first time, just readjust and go in again. Or you can just buy chicken thighs, but they tend to be slightly more expensive. Anyway, once all your chicken is prepped up, we're just going to season it heavily with some salt and cracked black pepper. Make sure you really get every side coated in seasoning. Into a large stock pot, you're just going to put about a tablespoon of oil and bring that up on a high heat. You're going to place the chicken in, skin side down, and then we're just going to cook this for 4 to 5 minutes until we have a beautiful golden colour on the chicken. And then you're going to flip that over and cook it for another 4 to 5 minutes to have a beautiful golden colour on the chicken once again. You're just going to do this in batches unless your pan happens to be massive. My pan certainly didn't fit everything in all at once. Once everything is fully cooked and browned, remove it from the pan and place it to one side for later use. Make sure you save the pan. We want all the flavour that is in the bottom of that pan. So now the chicken is browned. The reason we've done this is because what we got on the bottom of the pan here is called the fond, and now that is all just pure flavour, and we're going to build the base of the sauce off of the fond. So let's get into that right now. Let's prep our veggies. You're going to take 2 onions, top, tail, half peel, and then slice them nice and finely. Just place them in a bowl and reserve them to one side for later use. Let's get on to preparing our peppers. So to prepare a pepper, it's very simple. You're just going to take 2 red, yellow or orange peppers. You're going to top and tail it, removing the green stalk. And then you need to cut the pepper down the length of the pepper. You're going to put your knife into the pepper and you're going to run it around the circle of the pepper, the diameter of the pepper, and you're just going to cut the pith off as you go. And what that's going to do is remove all the pith and all the seeds nice, easily and cleanly. Let's just show that again. Run your knife down the length of the pepper and then just run it around the pepper, cutting the pith of the pepper off as you go, and then it's basically ready to slice up. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Just slice that nice and finely and then place it in the bowl along with the white onions. We are also going to grate 4 large cloves of garlic into that, skin and all, if you use a microplane, because it just grates it so fine that you can't even notice it's in there. Nice little tip for you. Okay, so we're going to turn our pan back onto a medium heat, and once it's come up to temperature, we're going to place in all of our vegetables. We're just going to want to sweat this down for a few minutes, and as we do, the fond is going to lift off the bottom of the pan. Okay, so check this out, right? The veggies have started to sweat down. You know that fond that was on the bottom of the pan from earlier? That's all gone. All that flavour is now in with these veggies. That's just going to give a whack of flavour into this final dish. We're just going to sweat these down for about 5 to 10 minutes until they're nice and soft. Once your veggies are starting to look somewhat like this, nice, soft and all cooked down, it's time to start adding the spices. So it's 1 heaped tablespoon of smoked paprika, 1 heaped tablespoon of dried thyme leaves, 1 heaped tablespoon of dried cumin powder, and 1 heaped tablespoon of dried oregano. We're just going to give this all a mix and cook this out for about 30 seconds before adding 100 grams of chipotle paste. Now this really is the absolute flavour bomb in this recipe. There's so much going on in here. You're just going to give everything a really thorough mix together and cook it out for about 1 minute. And after 1 minute, you're going to add 500 grams of quality chicken stock, homemade if possible, along with 1 tin or 400 grams of chopped tomatoes and 1 tin or 400 grams of red kidney beans in water and all. Get it all in there. And you're just going to give this all a nice mix together. And once it's all combined, you're just going to lower the temperature and bring this up to a very gentle simmer. Once it's up to a simmer, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of raw dark cacao powder. Now I know that sounds weird, but it works so well in this recipe. Give that all a mix, and once the cacao powder has dissolved, add in all the chicken, and then we're just going to let this simmer away for about 1 hour on a nice gentle heat while stirring occasionally. Now, adding cacao powder to this is completely optional, but it just adds a really nice richness and depth. You don't really get a chocolatey flavour from it. Initially you will, but as you reduce it down, that chocolatey flavour should dissipate into the sauce and just kind of make everything nice and rich and creamy. And yeah, it's an odd one, I know. It's kind of like mole-esque, but it's, you know, we're not doing a traditional mole really, but yeah, that's it. Now we're just going to simmer this for an hour on a low temperature and just let that chicken cook through and let all the flavours marry together, and we're just going to let that sit on the side for as long as you want before you portion it into your tubs. Well, preferably portion it in the same day. Don't leave it much longer than that, but the longer this sits, the better it's going to get. Okie dokie, while our chicken and chipotle stew is simmering away on the stove, let's make some zesty lime rice. Take 220 grams of basmati rice and place it in a pan, and then you're going to rinse it under cold water, agitating with your hands. Strain it off using a colander or a sieve. I didn't have one because I just moved house and I didn't pack it. Anyway, you're going to repeat this process 3 times until your rice is all beautifully washed. You're then going to add into the rice 440 grams of cold water, and then you want to make sure that you season this nicely with a bit of salt, and then you're going to place this on the absolute lowest temperature on your stovetop. I repeat, the lowest temperature. Once you start to see little bubbles and a gentle simmer, you're going to place a lid on top, and we're going to cook this for about 6 to 8 minutes until all of the water has been absorbed into the rice and you can just kill the heat. Now we just need to make this lime rice. So to do that, we're going to take the zest from 2 limes and get that into the rice. We are also then going to cut them in half and squeeze the juice of our 2 limes into the rice as well. You're just going to mix this all together really thoroughly, and boom, you've got lime rice. Just place the lid back on top of the rice and just forget about it until the chicken stew is done. So it's been about an hour and the sauce has thickened up nicely, all the chicken is cooked. This bad boy is ready to go. We can just turn the heat off and let it sit. The rice is ready. I'm going to dig into a portion of this right now. Okie dokie, so that is everything done. I'm going to throw the macros for this recipe up on the screen right now. All that's left to do is portion this out between 5 portions. So split the rice between 5 portions. You've got 5 chicken legs, 1 for each day of the week. And then you're just going to divide that sauce between the 5 portions. Allow it to cool down, place the lid on, throw it in the fridge, and then this was easily microwavable within 4 to 5 minutes. And that is it, guys. This is such a hearty, nutritious, filling meal that you can have on the go. Just, you know, like I said, microwave it in 3, 4, 5 minutes and you are ready to go. I'm going to be bringing out way more recipes like this. I think it's super helpful for you guys. And one thing I really love about this one is all of that sauce just absorbs into the rice. It's so much flavour. And there you have it. Super simple dish to make. There's a lot going on. It smells delicious, you know. You got the nice freshness of the rice, the richness of the sauce. Whack of protein in this, and this makes 5 portions for sure. I'm gonna sit and enjoy this, but if I was you, I'd let this all cool down. I'd portion it into pots. I'll put it in tubs. Portion it into tubs. I'll put it in the fridge. You'd have 4 or 5 meals for the rest of the week, just ready to go. You can microwave it in 4 or 5 minutes. You've got delicious dish that just gets better with time. This will be better tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode. This is something slightly different. It's kind of in the healthy meals category. I'm going to chuck all the macros down in the description for you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.